So, at what point do we address Misha as the bully that she is? Let's
I do
talk.
not owe you conversation. Let's also get that clear. We don't want to hear from you. Go away. She said, well, I changed my mind. And she has that right.
Hello, my beautiful people. We are here for episode 5 of the Encore. Um, what is the episode title? Heavy is the Head. And right from the get, I'm not pulling no punches this episode. I'm saying what's on my mind. And we just gonna get to it. Who agree. Who don't. I really don't give a fuck. But we start with it's a brand new day. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. Um, Keely and the twins in the kitchen cooking breakfast, and they just having a conversation about how Aubrey didn't do what she been needing to do as queen, and it's time to get rid of her. But Aubrey is standing right outside the kitchen door, listening to what they're saying, and she has a problem with it. And so her and Lamisha go outside to talk about it. She's like, I've heard everything that they said, and Lamisha goes on to tell her what happened, I guess, the night before. She was like, yeah, they were talking about voting you out as queen. And I'm just like, when did y'all get so buddy that you feel like you gotta run down to her the things that happened while y'all was talking about it? Um, and so then Irish comes out and she joins the conversation, and her and Aubrey are twins, so of course she's gonna be on Aubrey's side. But Aubrey makes the statement that the twins have control of the music, and that just is what it is, and they're gonna end up sounding like Cherish because that's their sound. Whatever sound of music that Cherish made, that's what they're gonna end up sounding like. And there are girls there with more success than them, so they should be listened to. And this is where I have a problem, because once again, if y'all feel that way, I cannot get my words together. Why is nobody speaking up? It's only when y'all get together on the side do y'all feel this way, like it should be different things. So if y'all feel that way, why is nobody down there like, hey, I have this idea, let's switch it? Because the twins are not in total control. Y'all got other people working in that studio who's writing with y'all, who's producing stuff, so you can always put your input. It's a group project. Be a group member and speak the fuck up and do your part. But if the twins are the only ones who's working and say, yeah, that sounds good, let's go with that, and nobody's objecting to it, then yeah, y'all gonna sound like them, because ain't nobody doing nothing or saying nothing about it unless y'all clacking on the side with each other. And I'm like, for Lamisha to agree, like, yeah, there are other people who've had more success. Like, yeah, y'all have had more success than them, but was y'all doing the work like how they doing the work? Or was y'all letting other people tell y'all what to do and y'all just got in the studio and sing like how y'all doing now? And Lamisha, she claims that she's been wanting to say something ever since they took Aubrey off Skeletons. Lamisha, you can buck up every other time. Why you didn't say nothing then? Or is it you can only buck up at the twins because they the youngest ones there and you feel like you can bully them? So while they out there, in my opinion, the three worst singers feeling like they got something to say but ain't really doing nothing, everybody else is down in the studio. What's they working on? Bird's Eye View. Nivea putting some vocals down, and then Cedar comes on the screen. So she's like, what's up with the name? And they tell her, we came up with Blueprint, and immediately Aubrey is like, well, I wasn't there, and that's not really a good name. Like, sis, you came from a group called Danity Kane, and you got a problem with Blueprint? Make it make sense. Like, come on now. So Cedar tells them that they will be having a listening party for some of the ex-members of their group. And, those members are going to be able to hear what they've came up with so far and give critique on what they've done. And Pam, she said she's nervous because she's like, she feel like her group member's gonna be like, you not singing with us to do this, and this is what y'all came up with. But the music sounds good. I don't understand why she's nervous about that. Those songs sound great, and if this project actually comes out, I will support it. I would buy it. Y'all sound good. And now it's time for a new queen, which you know, Aubrey still feels a way about them trying to vote her out, but it's just like, what? Y'all only queen for like a day or so, or two? Because it seemed like shit, she was just queen, did nothing really happen those 2 days. She actually disappeared while she was queen, and now it's time for a new queen anyway. So why do you even feel a way about them trying to vote you out? And anyway, it becomes a tie between Aubrey, she got 2 votes, Fallon got 2 votes, and Lamisha got 2 votes. And so they're like, you know, what do we do if there's a tie? So once again, they go to the queen's mandate, and the mandate says that the queen gets the deciding vote. And immediately Fallon speaks up. She's like, you know, I got a problem with that because I already know what you're going to do, and that's not really fair. She's like, you know, you haven't done anything for the last 2 days. You know, you haven't really exhibited queen behavior. Exhibited queen behavior, and what we all knew was gonna happen, she did it. She made Lamisha queen, and as soon as it happened, Lamisha was like, ugh, why? And it's just like, so you don't even want to do it. So we gonna get there. And immediately Lamisha says that her main priority is working on the listening party coming up. But I'm like, why would your main focus not be tweaking the songs and listening to the music and making sure that it's up to everybody's standards? Since you had a problem with them taking Aubrey off Skeletons, you're now queen. You can mandate that they put her back on. So if you have a problem with it, why didn't you say nothing? Exactly. So Fallon is either one of the twins. But I think it's Fallon. Fallon went to go talk to Aubrey. She's like, you know, she wants to ask her about this Elijah thing, but when she comes in, she's like, you know, hey, how you doing? And it's just like, we not friends. Why you just couldn't come in and say, hey, can I talk to you? You know, I want to talk about this. But she asks Aubrey how she's feeling, and Aubrey says that she feels disrespected because she heard them talking about her and, you know, them wanting to vote her out. And, you know, Twin is like, funny you bring up feeling disrespected because what's this bullshit with Elijah? And immediately Aubrey flips it and is like, you know, well, I said this, but then he started going on about BDE and how y'all really ain't got no hits and how, you know, he's the only one with male parts, so he's not having no swinging competition with y'all. And it's just like immediately she removes herself from the issue and saying it was all him. And I'm trying to understand Elijah and the twins because I watched a live with them and I guess they made up and they claiming, you know, they friends in real life. But it's like, if y'all was friends in real life before this show even started, how did y'all let her come in between y'all like that? Because it becomes a back and forth thing of, even with the, and I still said it, like the first time they showed the conversation, it's like, Elijah, you immediately did go off on the twins, you know, like, well, I'm the one with the #1 records, they the least successful, they ain't got no hits like that. And it's like, but these your friends, this how you talk about your friends? And on that live that I referred to, he says, you know, I just got caught up and, you know, I admit that I was wrong. But I'm just like, why? I don't understand that. It ain't nothing that nobody could come tell me about September or Michelle and I would feel the need to talk bad about them. And no, there's nothing that anybody could say to me that I would flip on them and be like, well, you know, I'm better than nothing. So why, if y'all real friends, was it so easy for you to just flip and talk about them like that? That's why, like, the Hollywood, the music industry, movies, all that is too fake, and y'all too fake. Can't do it. So anyway, as soon as they get that out the way, so when the twins see Elijah, they tell him, like, no, she said that you said all of this and it wasn't no reason for you to say it. And he's like, come on now, that's not what the conversation was. So he's like, well, she need to come down here because it's a lot of he said, she said, let's get it all out in the open then. So when Aubrey come down, immediately he confronts her like, why are you trying to be manipulative? And it's like, there go that word again pertaining to Aubrey. And she's like, you know, I didn't do that, babe. And babe, and I'm like, once again, here we go with the babe shit. And it's just like, do not call me babe, trying to be condescending. And Elijah is getting loud, and it's like, you getting kind of too hyped, so let's calm down. And he said, well, I'm not finna argue with a woman, but that's exactly what you're doing though, Elijah, even though you feel like you're not. And he's like, nah, cause she a shit starter, and it's just like, why you doing all that? And Aubrey gets up and leaves. And once again, I'm calling out Lamisha because it's just like, you the queen. Why didn't you get control of that? You have the power to, even without you being queen. Why ain't nobody speaking up? All y'all just letting this go back and forth and letting it happen. And then when she leaves out the room, here go Lamisha. Well, yeah, I'm going to talk to her tomorrow. I'm going to give her a chance to cool down. So it's like, you can be cool, calm, and collective with everybody but the twins. Make that make sense. Even if you do have a problem with somebody, if you can come back and regroup and get yourself together, how is it you have enough calm and nerve for everybody but the twins? And then Fallon goes on to say, well, if y'all wanted to look and sound a certain way, y'all should have voted me as queen. And immediately Lamisha has a problem with that, and she has no problem arguing with Fallon. And it's like, true, look, because wrong is wrong. Fallon didn't need to say that, because it's just like, look a certain way, sound a certain way. You don't have to be queen to do that. And she goes on to say that. She's like, it ain't even about being queen, but of course, anything the twins say, it's a chance for Lamisha to be offended. And she's like, wow, that just shits on me. And it's like, no, she really been saying that when Pam was queen and when Aubrey was queen. But because you can only buck up when it comes to the twins, this is when you say something. And of course, she's immediately talking about you. And I need you to tuck in your feelings a little bit. Because for you to be able to get buck and stand up and do all that with just them and not anybody else, it's kind of some bull. So then the twins walk out. Because they like, you know what? We ain't got time for this. Because, no, Cosign said something. And he was like, this is a group effort. And everybody needs to be participating. And you could tell that they edited something out. Because it's like, it goes from him talking. He just being real cool, sitting back. And the twins was like, well, we ain't got to do it. We ain't got to be on it. You know what? That's fine. We don't have to. Y'all can do it all. Forget it. And, of course, this now gives everybody an opportunity to talk about the twins. Like, see, they always do that. They always running out, and they ain't nothing but big babies. And one of the twins turned around and say, oh, but it was okay for Aubrey to walk out, but now that we walking out, it's a problem. And she's like, freaking frack, gone. Y'all can go on. Y'all can go on. So I'm just like, but you the queen, though. You can't. No, because somebody gonna justify it, and she has a right to act that way. So it's like 1:30 in the morning, and it's time for them to go to bed. And Keely is like, I guess, calling everybody into her room. And when they get to her room, they see that Aubrey's mattress is gone. Like the frame is still there, but the mattress is gone, which does not make sense. So they looking all over the house like, well, where is she at? And, like, what is she doing? And, what Lamisha said, she was like, I ain't got time to be looking for nobody. I'm going to bed. So the next morning, it is Shamari and Ronnie's 15th wedding anniversary. So she gets a video call with him, and, they toast to each other like happy anniversary, and he asks her what's going on. And I love that she shouted out his group, like, I learned a lot from you, and you being a part of the legendary group New Edition. And I was like, I'm glad she did that, because I have to remember that there are younger people out there that's not gonna know who that is, and you got to put them up on game. Like, this is a legendary group. And she's like, as my husband, I learned a lot from you. And he asked her, he was like, are you getting along with everybody there? She's like, oh, baby, I'm the light. Everybody flocks to me. Like, I'm great out here. Shout out to my drink. This is, what is it called? The Daily's Blue Hawaiian and the Blue Alizé. I'm taking it back. You see my fro. I'm taking it back for my drink, too. So after that, then the next is another new day. Aubrey is back from thin air. I guess she went to a hotel for the night, because they really don't say where she went, but she said after Elijah blew up, she had to take a step back, and now she's back and ready to work. And everybody just welcomes her back in. And I'm like, once again, why is there no heat for Aubrey? I do not get it. And I'm like, Shamari, like, she has some shade for Aubrey too, but because Aubrey brought her flowers, I guess she back on her side now, whatever. And Aubrey, she makes up with Keely, and she makes up with the twins. And once again, that's why I say it's that fake shit. Because she tells Keely, she's like, I just want to start fresh and we be cool. And Keely was like, absolutely cool. you got it, whatever. But the twins, they hugging and, oh, little sis, are we done fighting? And it's just like, little sis, y'all got it, whatever. So anyway, they talk about the set list. And the set list was in a certain order, and it had been that way for a while, I guess, with Skeletons being first. The way they had it on the screen was go, don't leave. But I think it's leave, don't go, because when they talk about it later, Fallon calls it leave, don't go. Because I was like, go, don't leave, don't sound right as a song title. But anyway, Only God Knows is third. Then it's Bird's Eye View, Empowerment, and then Talking is extra, because that's technically the sixth song on there. And so Aubrey is like, Skeleton should not be the first song, Talking should be the first song. And you can just see in Keely's face, she's like, no, it's been that way, like it should be what it is. But then Felicia agrees. She's like, yeah, maybe we should change it, come out the gate with something strong. And Keely is just like, and they're like, you got a problem with that? She was like, no, but we can't keep changing it. It needs to be a set thing. And one of the twins was like, we can change it as long as we need to, or as much as we need to, as long as when it's time to go, we all know what it is. But that's why I'm with Keely. It's like, it needs to be a set thing so y'all can start practicing and make sure y'all memorize it that way. Because if you have it, like if it's constantly changing, when it's time to go out and perform, or even, excuse me, at this listening party, y'all ain't gonna know what's up. And so when Fallon hears that they changed it and Talking is now the first song, she feels away, because Talking is her song. She wrote that song and that's her baby. And Felicia knows that. So I'm like, if you know that, then why did you agree with Aubrey and like y'all basically changed it without talking to her? So this causes an argument between the twins, which Irish, nah. That's all I gotta say about that. You, no ma'am. But it's just like, eventually sisters gonna fight, and it's just like they fought about it, but they came back together and they made up, and it was over just that quickly, because that's what families do. And I'm like, well, I will say this, for Iris to kind of act like her and Lamisha never fight or don't bicker with each other, just because y'all showing solidarity on camera, don't mean that y'all ain't never fought and it ain't never been an issue. So bye. And so once the twins make up, and I guess they were in their room, Fallon comes down to the kitchen to get something to eat, and once again she hears them talking about the set of the song. And Lamisha even says that she likes Skeletons first. She's like, I like it the way it is. It should be the way it is. And Aubrey did say, she's like, none of these songs basically are it. She's like, we need a club anthem. We need Cosign to write us a hit. And Fallon felt a way about that and went to go tell Felicia. So Felicia is upset. And it's just like, because I watched other reviews and I don't get what people don't get about this. It's like, you would be like, as an artist, Erykah Badu literally said it. Now keep in mind, I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit. So why do nobody understand that hearing somebody nitpick at what you've created and what you've done is a problem? So Felicia gets upset and she goes downstairs and she's like, so Aubrey, you was talking shit? And she's like, no. And Felicia's like, well, Fallon said that you said, and Fallon's like, wait, that's not what I said. I said I heard. And Felicia's like, well, I'm ready to get it all out in the open. What's the problem? You don't like the songs? Like, what's the issue? And she's like, that's not what I said, babe. What I said, you have to lower your tone, babe. Listen to me, babe. And it's just like, you are being so condescending. And she's like, well, you can't. You're not letting me talk. And I'm not the only one that feels this way. Everybody else feels this way too. But it's just like, how come nobody speaks up until you are there? And you can see that I'm saying this like y'all can see my TV, but you can see it on the TV. It's like when they down there and they working, yeah, that sounds good. Let's do that. Whatever the twins say, it's just like, y'all go wherever the wind blows. And it's just like, it's not. And Aubrey says she don't see them as followers, but I kind of do, because it's just like, unless that's editing and that's how they showing it, but it's just like, it looks like whatever somebody tell y'all to do, y'all just jump up and y'all cool with that. Because if that set list has been up there for like a few days or something like that and ain't nobody changed it and they say, oh yeah, that's cool, but it take her to come down there and say, nah, don't do that. And yeah, we've been feeling that way too, so why the fuck ain't nobody said nothing? So I'm with the twins. It's like they wrong at certain points, but when they right, they right. And it's just like, y'all ain't saying nothing until somebody else tell y'all how to feel away. And you know, but once again, this upsets the twins and they say they done. Felicia says she ain't producing shit, she ain't recording shit, she ain't doing nothing. And Lamisha says, you know, y'all on lead on everything. And they like, that's not even true. Like, you got Pam got a whole song to herself. Basically everybody else is just background while Pam is singing the lead on her song. And she's like, every other song, it's 8 fucking people in it, because I'm not counting Keely. It's 8 people in this damn group. Ain't nobody gonna have lead all the time. And it's like, how do you fit 8 people on one song? Somebody's gonna have to stick to the oohs and ahs. And if we being completely honest, like, Lamisha, your voice ain't it, baby, for you to be lead. I guess ain't nobody told you, but I guess somebody needs to tell you. And it's just, so one into it, she's like, you can give Lamisha all my parts, thank you. And it's like, no, because if you felt the way, where your song at that you was supposed to write, Lamisha? What happened? Is your anxiety still there? Where your song at? You was supposed to write a whole song about love and marriage. Where that song at? Nowhere to be found, huh? But you can critique everything that they do and you want to take over what they have created. But where your stuff at? Nowhere to be found, huh? Right. Okay. That's all I got. I can't. Cause no, I can't even do it. Y'all have a good day. Be blessed. And I hope y'all enjoy my review. And I hope to see you back next week. Peace.